All right, guys, so it's the next day of our training here for the Milltronics CNC machines. Yesterday, we spent the entire day over on the ML16-2 learning some of the basic operations for, facing, chamfering, turning, grooving, threading, all of your basic ops that you would use a lathe for. At this point, I've got to just continue getting on this machine and basically just running through these programs over and over again so that I can remember how to come over here and use the conversational programming on the machine here. And Steve's been great, excellent teacher. He really knows these machines well, and I've been making notes in the book. He actually brought a couple books here for me to use that actually goes through all the programming here as well. Been writing some notes in there so that I can go in there and continue doing the same things that he's teaching me whenever he leaves. And I think that's going to be the biggest obstacle there, is trying to remember how to get in there and program and just keep doing it so that I can remember, kind of get that muscle memory, so you know what buttons to push and get in there and enter in the information that you want the machine to do. But it's been a pretty good, we had a good day yesterday. This was the shaft that we turned before we quit yesterday, and this was awesome because that was like the fastest that I've ever turned a shaft there. It was running right around 3,500 RPM. I think we had it set for 1,000 surface feet per minute, and that was really cool to do that. This was one of the other parts that we did there. So our first turning and threading, and then turn that in with the radius, and then do that groove there. That was pretty cool. This was another piece that I was gonna, that's just one of the first ones we started with there, just turning and threading. I was going to flip it around, but then that side had the hole in it. So we are going to get back on the lathe today as well, I believe probably this morning. And I had to get a drill chuck figured out for the turret. I found the proper bushing that we can use for a drill chuck. It'll go where the boring bar holder is there. So we're going to get back over there, and he's going to show me some, how to set a drill in there to be able to use the carriage for drilling a hole. So we're gonna do that this morning, and then we're going to jump over here to the TRM 3016 and get started on this machine. We haven't done any training on it yet, but that's going to be the main focus of today, is getting over here on the mill. I've got my vise set up. We have the mod vise set up. We have the Renishaw tool setter ready to go. So excited to get over here on the mill and start doing some training over here. And I'm going to do the same, just try to, once we get some things set up and we're making some cuts, I'll try to set the camera up and show you guys what it is that he's teaching me how to do, and maybe some of the cuts that we're making. I do have an idea on making a couple small parts on the machine while he's here during the training. It'll be some soft jaws for my Wilton vise over there. So we may get to that during the training. All right. All right, so we've been, Steve's been over here helping me. He's been training me on the TRM 3016, going through some of the conversational programming. So we're gonna start off, this is gonna be our first chips made on the mill here in my shop. We're gonna start off with a face mill. Just have a 2-inch face mill. And this is, you can see the modeling here. All right, how do we go back so that I can see that now? I was gonna run through the model here.
You go program.
Yeah.
Last one we were just in.
Yeah, last. Here we go. Preview right there. So this will show what it's doing. Let's slow that down a little bit. Exit. Preview. There we go. So really simple little thing, but we're going to start off with that. So we'll just mill the top, and then we'll probably do some more features. We've got 4 tools set in there. We've already practiced getting tools set, using the tool setter so that machine knows where all 4 of those tools are at. And we'll probably come in here later and do some more mill in and maybe even some hole making on this little simple block of aluminum. All right, so run program.
F7 menu.
Face block, and now start.
Yep.
And then cycle start.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Here's our first chips, hopefully. Okay. Looking pretty nice. All right. How cool is that? We made our first chips over here on the mill. I will say that these inserts were made for steel. I don't have the ones for aluminum, but we're just using that while we're going through our practice and our training. But there we go. There's our first little milled feature. Very cool. So we're ready to run our next feature. We're going to do a simple pocket in our aluminum block there. So we'll check it out here. Go back into preview. You kind of see we're going to be making a sort of a rough clear, and it'll make a finish pass around there. Not very deep. It's 1/8 of an inch total is what we're going to do it. So let's set it up and see if we can make this happen. There it is. Sounded like it worked pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and drill a grid hole pattern in our test piece now. We'll go ahead and run a preview, and you can kind of see what it looks like. This is gonna be a 5/16 drill because we're gonna go back in later and actually do a tapping cycle on this as well. So let's see here. Exit and run program.
Yep. Menu.
And we need to change. We're not in our hole pattern there. Menu, and then we're going to select bolt pattern rectangle. I think that's what we made, right?
Yep.
Bolt pattern rectangle. Select. So now we're in our correct program, and we're ready to hit start. Yep. Cycle start. We'll do a tool change and then we'll close it up. So we did set this up as like a chip clearance. Oh yeah, I had the rapids turned down. So it's pecking it though, you can see it. All right, that's looking pretty good. All right, there's our grid hole pattern. Worked out pretty good. Just continue to try to learn a lot of the basic commands that you're going to be using on the machine there. So we'll probably go back in there. We're gonna play around, probably add some more holes. We may do like a hole pattern in the center pocket that right there. And I know we're gonna go in there and end up tapping those as well. All right, let's drill a little hole pattern there. We're gonna put it right in the center of that circular pocket. We're just gonna drill a hole pattern there. It's just another practice exercise. So, all right, it's looking good. Clearing the chips nicely. I love that you can actually see what's happening up here, and you can move this around if you need to. You can zoom and pan if you want. Come around here to the back side and see it happening there. Cool stuff. All right, so we've already drilled our holes. Now we're gonna go ahead and tap them for 3/8/16. I've got a 3/8 gun tap mounted in there, and hopefully it's gonna work out pretty good. So here we go.
Tool number.
3. Enter. Looks like it's working pretty slick. Doing some chamfering. Okay, so our next little training exercise here is I wanted to mill a couple of keyways. So we're gonna start with an end milled keyway there. So we've got this is our sample that we did in the lathe, and we're using our mod vise. So we're just gonna mill a simple keyway in the end of the shaft right there. I've got it set. We're using a 1/4 inch carbide end mill, and we're gonna mill a 5/16 keyway in this end of the shaft, and I've got it set to 1 5/16 depth. All right, just a practice exercise. We're also going to be using air just so that you can see it a little bit. We can see this a little easier on video. This is stress proof, so it's a free machining material, and it's not going to hurt at all running that dry with a little bit of air to blow the chips out of the way. All right, so we've got our preview. I'll show you that. This is what it'll look like. Then make one roughing pass and then one finishing pass, and it should be done there. All right, so let's see it cut. All right, let's stop it. Stop it. It's in the way right there.
Oh, okay. I just hit feed hold right there. So
Okay, yeah.
I'll let you halt it when we're done.
I'm not used to what I need to hit yet. All right, so the air tube is in the way, so let's move that. We have our optional stop set, so we have to hit cycle start again to actually get it started. Well, that looks great. I haven't measured anything because this is just a practice piece, but I mean, everything looks good. I'm gonna have to play around with formulas on calculating the proper depth because y'all know me on my manual mills, I usually cheat by just coming down and cutting it until I have a little edge that I can catch with my fingernail there to calculate the half of the depth. But we'll continue to learn that, but that worked out pretty good. So we've got an end key milled there. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to practice machining a pocket here, like if we have a keyway that we need to come in and plunge down and mill that out. So this will be our next little practice segment. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next keyway. We're going to be using a rectangular pocket feature on this. We've already got it loaded in there in the conversational, so we're going to be coming right in the middle, and we're going to mill a 3/8 wide keyway in there. So we'll go ahead and run through our modeling preview. We're going to start in the center, and it'll make a couple passes and then it'll make a finish pass. All right, just another cool sample that we're going to try so that I can learn how to use the mill to do these kinds of features. Cycle start again. That seemed to go pretty well. We had a couple things that I guess we need to adjust in our program, right? Like our clearance was
plane was 0.1, so as it started
Yeah.
ramping down,
Yeah.
that was where you seen it, where it said it looked a little high, but
Yeah. Okay. All right. How about that? We've got a couple keyways milled in there now. All right, guys, we're getting ready to run our last part with my trainer Steve here, and he's once been helping me this whole time. We're gonna machine a soft jaw, that piece of brass, and it's gonna do everything. We're gonna deck it, we're gonna mill it, drill it, everything. So we've gone through, everything looks pretty good, and I think we are ready to send it. So let's see it. All right, we're ready. Let's hope all this goes well. To our face mill. Now this is going to be a cycle that's called Chip Boss, correct? It's going to be pretty cool. Our air nozzle, I guess we'll be okay for this one here though. That's looking nice. This should be a finished pass around the frame. Now we're going to drill. I went a little conservative on the speeds for the drill there. All right. Now we're going to do a counter bore feature. That's looking good. There we have it. That's the end of the cycle, right?
yep.
There it is. Well, I think that went pretty well. No crashes, we didn't hit our jaws. Awesome. The past 3 days have actually been pretty amazing here with Steve in the shop and helping to train me on using these Milltronics CNC machines. And he had to leave today. It was travel day for him to head back up north. But I just want to say a big thanks to Steve for coming down here and spending time with me. It was really great being able to have one-on-one opportunity to have someone next to you teaching you how to operate, how to program, and trying to explain all the things that you may not understand about what's going on. And I just can't thank him enough. He was an excellent teacher, and he said that I could call him, email him, whatever, if I have questions, which I'm sure I'm going to have plenty. I'm sure there's going to be times where I'm going to come back over here to these controllers and I'm going to be stuck because I can't remember what it is that I need to do. And like what I've been trying to explain to my friends, or like Abby, my wife, is that it's not so much about not understanding the machining aspect of it and what I want those cutters to do. It's really about navigating the software, knowing what keys to hit, knowing how to go into that software and find what it is that you want to do, and then properly inserting the correct figures and formulas in there so that the machine will do what it is that you want it to do. Whether, you could put in some values and, your Z is going to be the wrong way, maybe up. Luckily it was never down, past our Z0, or maybe it's off to the side one way or the other. But I really think that it's just going to take some time and repetitious use and practice on both of these machines to start getting familiar with the software, with the conversational program, which I think is excellent, by the way, for getting on these machines and not having to fuss around with a CAD program like Fusion. We can go straight to these machines and these controllers and actually plug in what it is that we want to do. Now, I will say that if there's a lot more complex machining involved in the part that you want to make, we're definitely going to be using Fusion to be able to draw and model and CAD that out. But for more relatively simple operations, everyday machining ops, it doesn't have a lot of crazy geometry built into it. I think that you can easily come over to this controller and program and do what it is that you want to do. So, I didn't become a machinist in a week, in a month, or in a year. It took many years to get to that level of being comfortable on manual lathes and milling machines, and just understanding the work in general and what to do and how to repair things. And I think it's going to be the same thing for these CNC machines. I think I'm going to pick up on it kind of quick, but this is not a 1 week process where I'm just going to be a CNC machinist. This is all still absolutely brand new to me, and I have a lot of respect for all you guys out there that are top quality CNC machinists, and everybody that's a machinist for that matter. But being able to operate CNC machines efficiently and properly and make beautiful parts, there's a lot of people out there that know how to do that. I do not know how to do that. That's the whole point of this journey right here, is trying to learn this process of machining using the CNC machines to do that. So it's going to take a while. I'm going to continue to practice with these machines, and hopefully I'm going to get more efficient at it and get better and be able to eventually comfortably come over to these machines and use them to make the parts that I want to make. I'm still going to be on the manual machines. I've had a lot of guys commenting about they're saying like it's sad that we're not going to see the manual machining anymore. That's not true. I'm not doing away with my manual machining. As I said before, this is a new skill that I want to acquire. I don't want to be left behind in technology. I've already felt like I've been left way behind, and I want to try to keep up with what's happening, and I want to be able to use these machines to my advantage with the work that I do and the content that I create. So we're not going to be removing my old school manual machining or my fabricating, repair work. I want to be able to use these machines to do that and more. Help me with some production work, help me with some job shop stuff around here, and anything that comes to the door that I want an opportunity to create. I want that opportunity and have these here by my side. So I think that's going to do it for our Milltronics training video. It's been an interesting past couple of weeks, where Derek came down, got them all set up, level, calibrated, ready to go. And then this week, Steve has been here with me training, and it's been excellent. So I feel comfortable enough that I can come over here and can continue working with them to continue learning and making parts. And I am going to continue to work on these brass soft jaws right here. These are going to be for my Wilton vise. It's over on the table. And, you know, so we're going to have a second op with that. And this is a great exercise for me, is to make simple parts like this in the machine. I'm going to leave this in here because I want to play around with this, maybe do some more machining on the sample piece, and just keep playing around with that. Same thing with the lathe. You know, here's our sample pieces that we made, but I'm going to continue coming over here and working the machine so that I can continue to be familiar with it. I did want to say that he did show me on the manual mode here how you can real quickly come over to this machine, put something in the chuck, and use the controls to do a very quick face or turn operation if you don't want to come up here into the program and you know, and write out a program for that. You can throw a piece in there and real quickly do something very simple with the lathe. And I thought that was pretty cool. I'll get into more of that later on as I continue to learn. We'll have some more videos on my learning journey here on both the Milltronics. And I think with that, I'm going to sign off. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching the video, following my little learning process with the CNC machines. I've had a lot of fun. It's very exciting. I almost can't believe that this is actually happening in my shop right here, but I'm very thankful for Milltronics wanting to work with me and providing these machines for me to learn on. It's going to be an excellent, they're going to be some excellent machines to have here in the shop to use for our work. All right, we will see you guys later.